Hey guys, I'm Muhammad Hashir here from Hashir and welcome to this tutorial. In this particular video, I'll be showing you guys how to create a visual novel game. Uh, I got this idea when I was playing this game called Life is Strange. If you've not played this game, it's available on Steam for $5, and even on the PlayStation Network if you're playing on PlayStation or anything. And this is if you don't know what a visual novel game is, I'll just give you a small introduction. It's basically a storyline adventure where you actually go through a adventure like this, and then the gamers get a choice, and once at one point of time, and what do you want to do? If you click on this, the ending and the consequences are different, so you can actually build upon the story depending on whatever you want to choose. So this is a kind of a game that I created like in a very short amount of time, like in a few minutes. It just takes a couple of minutes to build this kind of game. So before that, I just wanted okay, come on, let's look at the save adventure, like saving and all of this history. Look at the choices I made. All of this stuff is recorded. Okay, let me tell you guys what I want to do. Okay, so all of this menu was created by itself, and all I had to do was add some of my menu, my item. This one is decided by myself. This was not generated automatically. Like, and then we have this one is this. Okay, so before I begin with this, this particular application was created using a tool called RenPy. The link to download this will be in the description of this video. So this is the software. What you gotta do is you gotta go ahead and download RenPy from renpy.org, as you can see here. So, and the next thing is you can go download whatever platform you want to do. EXEs, if you want EXEs, that's what you want to do. You can do that. Windows for Mac and this for Linux. So, but the funny part is when you actually download it, you get the application for all three platforms. I got it. I got an exe file, I got an sh file, I got a dmv file. I don't know why they put that, but anyways. So whichever platform you're using, the installation is a standard, so there's nothing new about it. One other thing that you want to remember is you want to download something called Editor. No, if you're a programmer or something, you might. Yeah, by the way, there's absolutely no programming knowledge required for this. Um, you'll see in a while because there's almost no program. But like I showed you guys, this game was created like a few minutes, and like just in a couple of minutes, I made this game here. Obviously, the time to create this artwork will take some time, but that's how about art, not about the game. Yeah. So I'll also give you guys some tips here. If you want to know where to get the some artwork. If you're not an artist, if you're an author or something like, okay, what was it? Kenny, it's called Kenny.nl or something. No, sorry, it's Kenny. It's Kenny.nl. Yeah, this one. So you go to this website here. This one has a lot of open source. You go to this game assets page here. It has a lot. They have a lot of open source assets. If you're not a game developer or something, we have a lot of packs here. You can go to background and all of that stuff. If you want audio files, UI files, and all of that stuff. This one is just there. If you want to need assistance, obviously 3D won't work. This is for 2D. We're not gonna be creating something like Life is Strange, but this is my. If you're creating a game something like Life is Strange, you can do using Unity. But uh, this one is if you want to create an MVP or something. And this also you can run this. Like I said, you can the software runs on anything, and you can actually export this to iOS and or on almost any operating system. Okay. So yeah, you can download this, but for iOS you need a Mac, like I have here. So because publishing requires, I mean, you're publishing it to the on the iOS App Store. You need to be on a Mac. So there's a lot of steps required to authenticate stuff. So one tip is you can make the game on Windows or Linux, and then give it your friend or run your application on a Mac, and then publish it from a Mac. So you can save time there. So the other tip I want to give you guys is RenPy has some Wikipedia articles. I don't want to actually I'm not going to read all of this. We're going to be creating something very simple, something really simple as this. Not this, but I did a lot. I spent some time. This one takes like 1 hour to make the artwork, but I'm not gonna go like sit down and draw the art for you. Now this one is called Figma. This is a small tip for you guys. This is not necessary. All these are like tips for you. You can skip this particular part of the video, but the reason I'm actually showing you guys is because you can accelerate the process to make all of this. So this is a Figma. I use this all the time. Apologies for the noise there. So yeah, so I started drawing the UI and the wireframing stuff here, but forget all of this. Now what I want to do, you guys to do is go to Figma.com. The procedure is very simple. What I did is instead of sitting down and thinking of the story, like writing on a notepad or something, or like writing the story as I'm developing, that's not like natural. So what I did is you can either just take a paper and pen and write it down, or what I do is I write it down on the flowchart. There are definitely a lot of flowchart creation software or websites available online, but I chose Figma because it's really natural. So what I did, I just added some texture and drew some lines here. So I know where the story goes and ends here. So depending on whatever ending you want. Uh, so if you don't really know what a visual novel game is, yeah, I would highly suggest you guys to go take a look at this game called Life is Strange. It's a really cool game, by the way. And there's also other games like Heavy Rain, which I'm a huge fan of. Um, anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, there's almost no programming knowledge required. I told you guys, yeah, editor downloads. With respect, whatever platform you're using, go download Editra. If you're using Windows, get this, Mac this, or Linux this. That's depending. If you're using on Linux, then get it from the repository. That'll be easier for you guys. If you are using on Linux, you install Linux, then you probably know how to use Linux. So I guess you're a little bit experienced user. Okay, so this is the application here. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go create a new project here. I can go install it. Okay, first of all, let's see you guys, new GUI interface or legacy team interface. If you don't know what this thing is, it's a legacy team interface. It looks really crappy, but the new GUI interface is what I chose for the game. If you want something like that, and I'll show you a preview of that. Don't worry about this. So I'm gonna call it something like a tutorial game. It's not the best name in the world, but so you guys can understand that. So I'm gonna call it tutorial game. I'm gonna continue, and it'll give you guys a which resolution you want. All right. So now something to remember is that when you're creating a game, like if you actually resize the game in your resolution, what will happen is it'll automatically scale down or scale up. But it's always uh, what is the original resolution that you want to build your game upon. So if you say 1920 by 1080, it's primarily meant for desktop. If you're making for mobile and for desktop, I guess 720p is the best choice. So let's go with 720p even for now. It recommends that as well. So whatever UI choice you want, look at this. You can actually try it out. It gives you a lot of the UI controls are made for you, so but you can customize this if you're an artist or a UI designer like me. You can customize this later. Don't worry about it. And I'll show you guys how to do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go continue, and this will be creating a new project for me. So make sure you have Editra, Mac. And by the way, I use something called Atom here. Now, when you're starting up, I'm definitely sure you wouldn't have seen this screen here. What I saw, you will see something like this. You will see what English you want. Oh, okay. Now you will see text editor. Which text editor you want? You can go just click on editor. Now, if you're a programmer, you'll be asking me a question. Why do you even stress upon this? Actually, it turns out they don't have any a lot of. This is not a programming language, by the way. Although it does, obviously, like from the name it says it's Python. It does leverage on Python, but there's some indentation that's really required. I'll show you guys how to do that, but it's not really difficult. But this indentation, like for example, this person says there's a specific format for that, and editor actually does that automatically for you. So that's why it says spelling checking and all that is already built into these text editors. That's why they actually recommend all of these text editors. So Jedit is also pretty cool. Uh, in my opinion, it's much better than Editor. Look at the Editor, like the horrible user interface. I mean, not horrible, but yeah, it's just up to your personal preference. I used a very bad editor as well. I'm using Atom. Now, forget about all of this stuff. Okay, don't worry about it. This is what we're gonna meddle with. Not now. I'll show you guys how it works. How it works later. So okay. So not doing this. So here's where you are now. So probably you're looking at this screen here, and it says edit file. What you gotta do is don't panic. If you want to see your game, you just click on launch project, and you can see the game that it has already built for you. So this is what it comes with. So it has a click on start. it gets some hello world text and some sample text. Now let's go ahead and edit those and make it our own. So the first things first, I'm going to go click on script.rpy. Now as soon as you click on that, it will actually open up on where's that, an editor for you, but for me it's opening up on Atom. I click on system editor. Trust me, this is not the best choice you can make, because Atom, if you can use any text editor like Notepad or Notepad++ or Brackets, in my opinion is the best. It looks really cool. I mean, Atom looks cool, but it takes forever to load. I know it's not the best choice, but personally I don't like editor, that's why I don't use it. And it's also, I don't recommend this text editor to any beginner, because it, yeah, like I said, it's, there's some indentation problems. So it'd be better if you use editor for the first time. Okay, just forgive it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check this out. What's going on here? So they have a lot of comments here. Just forget about this. I'll tell you guys how to edit stuff. It's very simple. So you don't need any program now, like I said. So what you need to do is, the first thing is, they have actually got only one character in the whole game here. They've called it Eileen, or yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and name this to my own character. I'm gonna click on define these equal to character. I'm gonna call it Dave. The first thing is, what is this? What is going on here is, I'm calling the Dave here. The name of the character is Dave, and whenever I'm gonna be writing the story, I don't have to write Dave says this. Okay, the way the computer understands this. Okay, you click on D. Yeah, okay, it understands that it's coming from Dave. So yeah. So start is when you click on the start game, whatever happens. Now it says, okay, it has to use the background of the room, and you have to show that Eileen is happy and all that stuff. We'll edit all this stuff later. For now, let's go ahead and click on, just check out this. Okay, we'll have some other characters speaking as well. So we'll have something called Jay, and that'll be a character. Let me go ahead and copy paste it. Like, uh, let's save some time here. That's lazy. Jay. John, and as soon as you do that, the second thing you want to do is, on the label start, let's keep this default for now. Let's go slowly down. So I'm gonna say, hey there. Uh, let me go ahead and edit this one here. So hey there. Make your choices carefully. Every choice. Go on. Very carefully, because every choice impacts the story line. Now this is a very simple text. Now let me go ahead and okay, so this is how. Now what is happening here is, this says, this will be the first line of text that's going to be coming here, and this one is not said by anybody. This is general, so it doesn't have to be from from John or Dave. It's just general. But if you want to say this particular text is going to be said by Dave, you can say D and space followed by whatever he's going to say. It's going to say, hey, how are you? Okay. So we'll click on the how are you, and then the next two is going to be John here. I'm gonna say, hey, thanks for that. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Okay. The next one, let me just go and copy paste a little bit of more conversation, so this picks up a little better. Shall we go out? So, shall we go out? No, let's go ahead and save it till this much. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and run the project, watch how it works now. So wait, hey there, Impacts, and look at this, it says Dave, it says hey, how are you, John, and all that other stuff. And also something that you need to remember is, under the, if I say a small letter, you have to use small letter. If we use a capital letter, please use capital letter, because all of this is really important. This capitalization is important on this level. So yeah, so you can go and build upon conversations like that. But okay, some of these games actually just go on like in story and story, but that's not a really interesting game. What really makes up a game is when you actually give some interaction to the user. So we're gonna give some interaction, but before that, the game looks really boring. As in, look at the artwork. It's just, when I click on launch project, it just Look at this. It's so boring here. And look at this character. I don't want this. What is BG room? I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna remove something called show alien happy. If I actually change this text and what happened, look at this. If I type in my name, look at this. I'm gonna save it. Obviously, I forgot to save. I've always keep saving this and only launch the project. So look at this. Yeah, it says my name. Obviously, I'm not Hasher, but that's not Hasher. But yeah. So I'm gonna remove that. We'll add the backgrounds and pictures ourselves, so don't worry about it. Um, Leave the comments as it is so that you know where things start, and that's gonna be just helping you guys out. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is, for now we have, okay. Let me just add some images here. Look at it; it's looking really boring now. So to add a image here, what you gotta do is you gotta go type in image in the image here, and you're gonna type something like no, like what's the scene that I'm gonna create? It's like white, okay, and then within the double quotes, just keep it like this, okay. I'll tell you guys what to do now. Just type in this. I'll tell you this is for the background, okay. And I'm also gonna have one for my character. That's going to be Dave. Yeah, Dave, and he's gonna have an image here. I'll give you. I tell you guys where to add the images. Just keep holding. And we're gonna have John. I don't have the character image for John, but let's keep it like this for now. Okay, so we have a character. We have the background. We have the Dave. We have John. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give some image to John. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this now. Okay, under a RenPy launcher, I'll click on game. No, sorry, images here. And when you click on this, you got a folder. Okay, so what you're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go here. So I have my, if you look at the images, I have some images here. This is from my old project. So I got some images here. Now this one is the menu that I created from Figma. Actually, I did the sketching on Sketch. It's a software, graphics designing software for Mac only. But you can use Figma or Photoshop or any graphics editor you like. I use Sketch a lot, so yeah, that's my personal preference. Anyway, so I got all of these assets here. I'm not gonna use all of those. I'm just gonna use the light BG background, which is the white background. I'm gonna use this as a background. Nothing much at all, but it's a very pleasant. Nothing much at all. This one is gonna be my Dave. For now, I don't really have a character for John, so I'm just gonna use the same character for John, but you guys know what to do with it, right? So you can have two characters, one for Dave and one for John. So yeah, I'm gonna have these two assets. I'm just gonna copy paste it here. Also note we have one more here. I'm gonna call it John. Uh, just to distinguish stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and customize this character a little bit so I know that there's a difference here. So I'm just gonna make it look different. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Make it. Let me look like a black guy. So yeah. All right. Let's make him look. He looks like Sherlock Holmes, I guess. I don't know, or Harry Potter. So I have got all my images here. Let me go minimize this now. So I've got my 3 images. Now let's go ahead and import that and import these names into our project. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on Dave. Apologies for that. That's for my phone here. Anyways. So Dave has an image. That's the exact name. And keep these image names very simple so that you can spend your time thinking about the project, not those names here, because that's really. So I'm just gonna click on John. John has this one. Okay, so I've got these images here. So to display these images, what you gotta do is whichever part you want to show each of this person. So first person who's gonna speak is Dave. Now always, okay, if you're using any custom text editor or any text editor for that matter, make sure this lining or indentation, if just about a D is should be your content. And this actually makes a lot of difference. I don't know why or how, but if you actually type your text here in so many of the syntax, I don't know for this one particular command, but a lot of commands, like if you don't give the indentation properly, it doesn't work. So yeah, it gives you some errors as well. So first thing you want to do is you want to say show Dave. So yeah, show Dave. That's it. And I will show you guys a picture of Dave. And if you want to show the picture of John, I will show a picture of John here. John. Alright? And over here, we want to show a picture of John. Alright? Oh no, Dave. Sorry. I have Dave. And when John's picture is being shown, I don't want to see Dave here, so I'm gonna say hi, Dave. That will actually have the thing. And for the background, you want to say scene. You want to say white. That's the background image. I'll show you guys how to do it the other way around. Alright. Now you're gonna click on launch project and see if there are any errors or something. Alright, no errors. Fine, okay, there you go. Hey Dave, how are you? Says, hey, thanks for asking. Look at these guys. Okay, so we got like two people there. Now, if you want to say something like one person appears on the right and the other person appears on the left or something, you can do something like this. Show Dave at right and say show Dave left. And you don't want to hide Dave. I'll appear something like this. I'm going to go ahead and save this and launch the project and show you guys how it looks like. What it looks like. So start and hey Dave, how are you? And look at this. I mean, you can flip those things around, but yeah, that's what it's all about. So yeah, that's about having things like that. Let this go like that. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to have choices. Now, how to make choices is like this. You go down here, and on the day you're gonna. So, shall we go out? We have two options here. One is yes, and one is no. And when it says yes, you want to say something like, so let's take the Lamborghini. And the no will say, you're such a bad guy. Yeah, so let's go ahead and type in something called menu and a colon and press enter. Okay, the next thing you want to do is press a tab space indentation. Please pay attention to this because this is kind of important. I don't know why, but I spend like a lot of time on this bug. Okay, so yes, and then after this semicolons, you want to press on the colon, not semicolon. Yeah, whatever. You want to press a colon here and press enter, and press a tab. Okay, it goes like a steps. Okay, first Predu, then yes, and then in the next line we'll give a tab here. I think if you're using editor or Gedit, you don't really have to pay attention to all this indentation stuff because I think it does it automatically for you. If you're using, like again, I repeat, for Gedit and for if you're using editor, you don't have to do all this indentation, tab pressing, and all this stuff. But because it does it automatically for you, just press enter and go to the next line. What you want to do, you want to say something like jump, agree, okay, and the other option I want to give is a no and a colon. In the next line, I'm going to type something called jump and disagree. I'll tell you guys what I mean by those, okay? So, alright. So, what is these things is this is basically a label or something like a method if you remember in programming languages. So, start is when the game starts, and what you want to say is when he says yes, I want to start up another label, another conversation. Label is like another conversation, okay? So say agree, and then say so if John says yes, say okay, yeah. So I'm gonna type something like Dave would say, if he agrees to it, what it do is he'd say something like, "You're a good guy," and if he's hold on, yeah, like if he disagrees, note that I am paying attention to this capitalization. So I put a colon after that, and who's gonna say? Yeah, D's gonna say you're a good guy, and you say you're a bad guy. Alright, it's very simple stuff, but yeah. So if he agrees to it, it's gonna say, "Oh, you're a good guy." Okay, after he says "good guy," what is he gonna do? I'm going to return to the conversation, so I'm going to say return. So we'll go back to the controller. So after you do that, make sure you type on return, alright, and save it. So now what is going to happen is there's a label here, and if he says, if the agree method is called, this particular part will be called, and it'll say Dave is going to say you're a good guy. Or if you don't want anybody to say this, just remove the D and not say you're a good guy. Hopefully this intonation is correct. Let's see if it was wrong or something. Yeah. So hopefully everything's going right. So let's go and check it out. Launch project. Alright, everything's working fine. So let's go. Let's start. Alright, how are you? Thanks for asking. Shall we go out? Yes or no? So let's say yes. You're a good guy. Let's do something bad guy here. No, I'm a bad guy. Okay, so if I had something like, you can go ahead and build upon conversation here. Something like, say it says, no, they, and something like, oh, Jay says, no. Alright, so I'm gonna save it, start, oops, okay, hold on. Let's start reloading the script. Yeah, how are you? No, yeah. So all of this stuff works. Now, alright, the next thing you want to know is like, how do we edit all of this? How do you add music and stuff? If you want to have a music, what you got to do is you go back to your particular part here. Before we get into music stuff, let me actually tell you guys something here. Oh, where's that? No, 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 no. Okay, I want to talk about the main menu here. First of all, click on GUI here. And when you click on the GUI part, you get something called game menu in the main menu. All right. The reason I have like you also have the icon here, right? So you can simply go ahead and replace these file names like main menu. You can just go ahead and I have my light background here. I can rename this as the game background, sorry, game menu, and I can just save and put it there. Or what I can do is I have my game assets here. Like let me go ahead and show you guys where's my particular file here. So I'm gonna have my main menu here. So if I want to change the the main menu's background, what I will do is first of all, we'll go copy here. I will rename this particular new background image to something like, and I'll replace this file here. I'll never replace here. So now actually if I launch the project again, look at this, got the story. So yeah, you can actually go ahead and click on this options here. You can see all of your look at this, a build name, the name of the game. Do you want to show the name of the game, the configuration version, and all of that? Do you want to show all of those? If you don't want to show, to click on false. All of this basic stuff, which this is a little bit of technical stuff, but if you want, you can do all of this. But this is optional. Okay, so let's go and do something like GUI.py. This has all the options to stuff like the main. Look at this background. You can change the name of the background, all of stuff. Like I said, this is nothing to do with. This is Python. Actually, it doesn't have any semicolons or something like that, just like Swift does. So yeah. So that's it about this video. So you definitely can do adventures with this particular software. You can go ahead and create your like um, Life is Strange like game, but with 2D or something like that. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with, and I'm actually doing a lot of my own game as well. I guess with this software. I don't know. Let me know. I don't know. We'll try it out. So yeah, so that's about RenPy here, and a little bit of note for my subscribers out there. You've been thinking, what's the deal with this camera here? Like this particular video here. So to my subscribers, the last part I just want to add this thing and end it. So normally when I shoot any videos, till last year, it was like I talk a lot, and nowadays I get a lot of complaints on my video channels like you talk a lot. Why is your video length a lot? And I really agree to that. I apologized about that in my last video, and the reason it's kind of that long is I just want to explain everything I can or you would want to know about that particular concept at the point of time. So it takes a lot of time for me to explain that. Probably that's a weakness or something, but yeah. So what I decided, okay, when I'm actually teaching, if in this particular concept it's okay, but if it comes to programming lessons, sometimes what I do is when I'm teaching stuff, I take my hands up and I actually try to explain programming concepts, and that actually doesn't work out when I put it, because actually how it feels like is I'm just recording my screen and nobody can see that action stuff. So I thought, okay, let's put up my screen here and you guys can see my reaction and you can see when I'm waving my hands and do what I want. So it just feels a little more natural and you can see what I'm talking about. So I decided, okay, so let's go ahead and put up a camera here and you guys can see me. So from now on, all my videos are gonna have this, except for the promotional videos or some projects that I'm gonna share. In certain videos, you don't need to see me, but other than those, you're gonna have my face displayed right there. Hopefully that will help, and that'll make my videos more engaging. And that's a little part that I hopefully will make a lot of difference. So I hope you guys will find this video useful. Oh yeah, forgot to say, Wikipedia. I mean this particular page. Do you really want me to leave a link to this page? I think you guys can find a lot of tutorials on YouTube. There are videos on YouTube, by the way, about RenPy. If you can't find this on video, you could definitely, there's a wealth of resources available online. You guys can go take a look at those. This one's also pretty cool. This one's like the best resource here for how do I change the menu, how do I change this, how do I change that. Most often asked questions. So this one is for you. Now, yeah. So this is for you guys. Now, with that said, publishing, you can do anything you want. So I have nothing more to say. Make sure you guys visit my website at hasho.in and subscribe if you found this video useful. And I shall see you guys in another video very soon.